Hi everybody, welcome back to Mando Lessons. My name is Baron Collins Hill. This week's lesson, I just want to do a really quick little talk about a chord that I use a lot, that I often get a lot of questions about. It's a C chord. It doesn't look like your kind of normal C chord, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it, explain why I use it, and that's about it. So let's jump right into it. I put out new lessons every single week here on YouTube and at my website, mandolessons.com. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're interested and you find these videos helpful, there's a couple ways to donate in the description. You can do a simple PayPal donation, or you can become a member on Patreon, where you get access to lessons early and patron-only live streams, things like that. But for now, let's jump into today's lesson. All right, so one of the first chords you've probably learned on the mandolin is this classic C shape. It's open on the G string, second fret on the D, third on the A, then open E. It's a great sounding chord, and especially when used with the other two chords that you learned when first picking up the mandolin. You have that G chord, C, D, and G, and it works great in that context. But a chord that I find myself using a lot, a chord shape, instead of that classic C shape, it's a little different. It's just one note different, actually. Instead of the second fret on your D string, you're going to use the fifth fret with your ring finger, and then also your third fret, like you do with the regular C chord, third fret on the A, and that gives you open, 5, 3, open. And it's a little different sounding. To me, it's a little bit cleaner sounding, but it's not quite as full as that kind of classic C shape. Maybe you can hear that difference a little bit there. I'm going to dive into music theory just for 30 seconds here. Don't worry if it's not kind of coming to you. I know everybody has a different relationship with music theory, but a chord is built up of 3 different notes. It's the first, third, and fifth of the scale. So in the key of C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Those are the notes of a C scale. First note, C. Third note, C, D, E. So we have C, E, and then the fifth note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, D, E, F, G, C, E, G. Those are the notes that make up a C chord. And then you're kind of required to place them on the instrument in a way that makes your hand kind of make sense. So we have a G, all right, we have an open G, that's the fifth of the chord. In our classic C shape, we go to the third of the chord, the E, and then C, and then another E on top. So we have G, E, C, E. Can't quite sing those today, but G, E, C, E. And so that gives you also, you can think of it as 5, fifth of the chord, third of the chord, root of the chord, and then third of the chord again. Now the third is what makes a chord major or minor. If we took that third note and made it flat, we have a minor chord. So that's 1 flat 3 5, but that's outside of this lesson. The point is to say that the third is kind of a volatile note, and it really gives the chord color. It also, I think, adds the most kind of distraction to a chord. So by taking my new chord shape, which is open 5, 3, open, we're getting rid of that third of the chord, that E on the D string, and turning it into a G. So it's another 5. So we have 5, 5, 3, 5, 5, 1, 3, or G, G, C, E. And what that does, especially I find with a tune like Red Wing or Union Made, same tune, different name. In the B part, you have this epic 4 chord, or the tune is in the key of G, so the 4 chord is a C chord. Etc. I'm sticking to the union. etc. So that's a great example of when I would use this chord. So if I use the classic chord, your melody note is that open E. And I find that that second E, that lower E, just kind of distracts from that sound. Whereas if I use the chord that I have been talking about, that 5-3 open, it's just a little bit cleaner and it lets that melody note stick out a little bit better. Getting rid of that kind of excess third really cleans up the sound and lets the melody shine. Versus see that lower E kind of steals some of the thunder from that high E, which is the melody note, so we don't really want to make that note hard to hear. Versus it's a little prettier and a little bit cleaner when you've got that 5th fret on the D string versus the 2nd. So I think it really comes down to context. You know, neither chord is right or wrong. It's just a matter of, okay, what am I trying to say with the music? What am I trying to highlight in the notes that I'm playing? And if you're finding that C chord to be too muddy sometimes, try that other chord, that 5-3 open. Same with the G chord. You can take that G chord, open, open, 2-3, make it open, open, 5-3, and again it gets rid of that third of the chord, the B in G, G, A, B, C, D, G, B, D, gets rid of that B, and actually gets rid of all the Bs. So it becomes more of like a power chord, where it's neither major or minor. But it can clean up the sound, it can make it a little more direct. Versus your regular chords. It's just a little bit, it's a little cleaner, it's a little more direct, it lets the melody shine a little bit more, in my opinion. That's not to say anything, you know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with these classic shapes. It's just nice to have another little, another option and another kind of color to play with, musically speaking. All right, that's all for now. I hope you can maybe incorporate that new chord shape into your playing a little bit, see where it fits, see where it doesn't. You know, the more you experiment with it, the more you'll be able to use it. Hope you found that helpful. Thanks so much for watching. New lessons every week on YouTube and at mandolessons.com. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.